So far, we have used async task to download data from Flickr. However, we did not download the photos yet. We only downloaded some text and we displayed it. Now we will continue with the same program, but we will download the photos and we will display the images. And we will do this using looper, handlers and handler thread. So let's get started and develop some code using loopers, handlers and handler thread to display photos in our existing application. So this was our existing application and that is how it currently looks. Yes, so there is a recycler view, but no photos are coming. So now let us write the code to bring some photos in. So first thing is, as always, we will have to create some layout files. So I go to the layout and I create a file called gallery item. So gallery underscore item, and I would like to uh, use this layout for viewing the image. So I press OK, or I go to the text and I change the text to image view. Image view. I keep this. I will add an ID because we are going to make a use of it, equal to at plus id slash fragment underscore photo underscore gallery underscore image underscore view. And then we can remove this. The width and height, the width is okay, height we can limit. So if you remember, we developed the same way our other app. So height we can give 120 dp, and then we can add few more fields. For example, we can add a gravity field and write gravity Android layout gravity, and we can call it center. And we are using a new attribute here which we have not used earlier, scale type, and we are calling it center crop. So this is used when we have to scale our images. Now this is an image view. This will be managed by our recycler views grid layout manager that we added last time, which means that the width of this will vary. However, their height will remain fixed depending on the photo. So to make the most of the image views space, we have set the scale type to center crop. This setting will center the image and then scales it up so that smaller dimension is equal to the view and the larger one is cropped. So now let's update our photo holder class to make use of this image view instead of the text view that we had. So let's go into our photo holder class. So far we were using a text view which we were showing. Now let's remove it. Make use of image view item image view. So this line will also go away and we will have something new, item image view equal to image view item view dot find view by id r dot id dot fragment photo gallery image view, and this will also go away. So let's just completely remove it, but we will implement another function, public void bind drawable 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 m item image view dot set image drawable drawable. Okay, so now we have changed the constructor because we are no longer working with the text view, and we are actually now finding the new layout that we created, and we are going to create or update basically the photo adapter on create view holder to inflate the gallery item. So on create view holder, this was the on create view holder. We remove these two lines and instead we go out to layout inflator, inflator equal to layout inflator from get activity, and then we create a view inflator dot inflate r dot layout dot gallery item, give it the view group, we give it false, and then we return the new photo holder view. So this is similar code as we had developed earlier. Now we need to update one more method. So this line will go away. So we have to do drawable placeholder equal to get resources dot get drawable r dot drawable dot bill up close. You will have to define it. So this is giving you a deprecated warning, but currently you can ignore it. And then we get the photo. Then we get the holder dot find drawable placeholder. So we are getting this error of r drawable. So let us see where we need to describe it. So we need to put an image in the drawable folder with the same name as we are using here. So let's put the image, and I'm just going to put the image of my own. So Control C, Control V, but we're gonna call it close. Let's go back. See, so now we see that our error is gone. Now let's run the program. Now you see that my image has appeared as multiple times because we gave the image directly copied from the drawable, and later on we will download these photos from Flickr and we will put them there. So this is our placeholder. This image is our placeholder. Later on we will do some other things. That is, we will download the photos from Flickr and then we will display them instead of the placeholder. So basically, when we want to download the images, there are lots of images at the Flickr that we need to download. So we are downloading a lots of small things. Now currently in our application, the networking, the way it works is that our application executes an async task that retrieves the JSON from Flickr on a background thread and then passes the JSON into an array of gallery items. Now each gallery item now has a URL where a thumbnail size photo lives. The next step will be to go and get these photos, get these thumbnails. Now you may also think that this additional networking code could simply be added in the do in background method, and our gallery item array may have just 100 URLs to download from, and we will just download these images one after another until we have 100 images, all of our 100 images, and then when on post executed, they will be displayed en masse in the recycler view. So this could have been a fine approach if it was not that many numbers. So downloading all these thumbnails all at once may cause two problems. The first is time, that it may take a lot of time and the UI would not be updated until the downloading is complete and the user will have to wait. The second problem is obviously how to store all these images. So 100 images will fit into memory easily, but what if there were thousands or maybe more than that? So how will we make sure that we can take care of the timings and the sizing? So async task we have used to get a background thread, and async task is very good for getting a background thread to do some computation, but it's not suited for repetitive and long running work. So instead of using async task, we are going to create a dedicated background thread, which is usually the recommended and most commonly used way of implementing downloading on an as needed basis. So our dedicated thread will download photos, but then we will have to make sure that it also works with recycler views adapter to display them when it cannot directly access the main thread. So we are removing async task from the picture. We are bringing a background thread that is good for downloading, but then how will we access the main thread? So what do we do normally in computer science? We solve this problem by keeping a buffer or an inbox in between, and when there are two threads, they keep looking if there is a new message in the inbox, and if there is a new message in the inbox, then they execute it, otherwise they do their task. So they keep looking at the message inbox. So the same way we can do this, that the background thread may download image and can put a suitable message into the inbox, and the foreground thread, whenever it finds that there is a suitable message for it, it can then display that image. So that way both foreground thread and the background thread can work together. So this approach of using inbox where the threads are looking is usually called looper. So the looper is the object that manages the thread's message queue. So the inbox is basically a message queue, and looper is the object that is managing the thread's message queue. So the main thread is a message loop and has a looper. So everything your main thread does is performed by the looper So the job of the looper is to take the message off of its message queue and perform the task they specify. Now let's create a background thread that is also a message loop. So for this we will use a class called handler thread that prepares the looper for us. So now let's assemble our background thread. So we will create a new Java class called thumbnail downloader.java because we are going to download the thumbnails. Thumbnail downloader.java. Oh, so we made a mistake. Let's delete it and let's create a new Java class thumbnail downloader. Okay, so yeah, so in the thumbnail downloader we create a generic, that is we can define the t later, and we have to extend it using extend handler thread so that we get our looper, and it is always a good idea to use logs whenever we are in doubt. Public thumbnail downloader tag, and then the queue, public void queue thumbnail log.i tag So let us see what we are doing. So we are just creating a very basic thumbnail downloader for the time being, and in the queue we are again just printing a message. So we are not really doing anything. The t here will correspond to the t that is given here. So we are giving a single generic arguments, and we are using that here. So now let's move forward and let's make use of this thumbnail downloader. The queue thumbnail method is also using the same t which we defined earlier. So let's go back to our main fragment class, and in this we will try to make use of our thumbnail downloader. So we are here, private thumbnail downloader photo holder and thumbnail downloader. Now we will have to change our on create method to make use of it. Thumbnail downloader equal to new thumbnail downloader, m thumbnail downloader dot start, m thumbnail downloader dot get looper, then log dot I tag background thread started. Then we override the destroy method to make sure that we do proper cleaning. Public void on destroy super dot on destroy dot quit log dot I tag background thread destroyed. So yes, so our background thread is created and we are making use of it. In here we start the looper, and we have also overridden the on destroy so that at the time of the restriction our background thread is also destroyed. So now let us go to the on bind view holder method, where we will make use of our background thread. So in the photo adapter we go to on bind view holder, and after that we do thumbnail downloader q thumbnail the photo adapter dot gallery item dot get URL. So now we have created and called the m thumbnail downloader. So let us try to run our program and check. So yes, we are receiving the JSON. And you can scroll. You can see that the data is getting downloaded. Now earlier we had talked about the inbox, the message queues. So what is a message? So well, a message is a task that need to be handled. So what a message usually is, that what it is, uh, what kind of object needs to be sent with the message, and who will handle the message. So now let us start using it in our program. So we will write some more code to implement the message, the handler, and the looper. So let's first go to the thumbnail downloader.java, and in this case we will add first some variables, private static, some constants actually, final int message download equal to 0, and here we will create a handler. So private handler m request handler, private concurrent map equal to new concurrent hash map. Yes. So the message download will be used to identify messages as download requests, and this new request holder handler which we have just added will store the reference to the handler responsible for queuing download requests. And then in this am request map, we are creating a hash map which will be so first, that this is a concurrent hash map, so this is a thread safe version of the normal hash map. And then here we will do the mapping of the photo holder with the string. Now let's add some more code, especially to this method, so that we can move ahead with our program. So if URL is equal to null, then am request map dot remove target. This is just for check. Else am request map dot put target URL am request handler dot obtain message download target dot send to target. So what we are doing is that we obtain the message directly from the am request handler, and this automatically sets the new message object's target field to the am request handler, which basically means that this am request handler will be in charge of processing the message whenever it pulls off a message from the message queue. And the message what field. So earlier we discussed that the message has a what field, so that field is currently set to the message download. So I hope you remember what the what field was. The what field was a user defined integer that was describing the message. So we will be using the variable message download to handle that. Now we are just missing two simpler methods for looper, so let's just override them as well. Protected protected void on looper prepared am request handler equal to new handler we are just implementing a method called the handle message. So public void handle message if message dot what equal to message download, then t target equal to t message dot object, and we just add a log entry tag got our request for URL plus mRequest map dot get target and handle we have to just implement this handle request method, and that's it. That will solve our problem. So private void handle request final t target. Yeah, so in the handle request we start with a try final string URL equal to m request map dot get target if URL equal to null return byte bitmap bytes. So we are trying to draw a bitmap. Flickr fetcher dot get URL bytes URL final. We are trying to draw a bitmap equal to bitmap factory dot decode byte array bitmap bytes from beginning till the end, and then we just print a log message tag bitmap created. Only thing we are left with is to catch the IO exception which may be thrown. IOE log.e tag error downloading image. Now let's run our program and see what is happening. We start the program, and you can see that now lot more data is coming, and when we scroll the more data is coming up. So the images are indeed getting downloaded. Now we are left with only a few small tasks. Let's complete them before we run the program again. So far we have passed the work from our main thread to our background thread. Now, obviously, we need to bring the results back from the background thread to the main thread. So now we will be developing that part of the code. And after that, our program will be ready and hopefully we would be able to see the bitmaps of the images that are being downloaded. You just saw that when we were scrolling, more data was downloaded. So our program is overall working fine. Only one step is missing, that is from the back coming to the front. So let's go and develop the code to handle that. So we will start with the thumbnail downloader and let's start writing some code to handle that situation as well. Handler and response handler private thumbnail downloader tm thumbnail download listener. Create an interface thumbnail download listener t void on thumbnail download it t target and bitmap thumbnail. The another method we are writing is the public void set thumbnail download listener downloader the listener and thumbnail download listener equal to listener. Now let's go to our initial thumbnail downloader and set the response handler to the so let's pass a response handler here response handler here and yes. Now what we have done, so what we have done is that on thumbnail downloaded method we have defined a new interface. So this is a new interface that we have defined. So this interface will be called when an image has been fully downloaded and is ready to be added to the UI. And using this listener, it delegates the responsibility of what needs to be done with the downloaded image to a class other than this existing one, the thumbnail downloader. And that's how the transfer will be passed from the background to the foreground. So now only thing we have to do is to go back into our original fragment class and we have to hook up our handler. So we go into the on create method And in our onCreate method, let's write some code here before we begin. So as you can see that now error is coming, but soon we will change this line. So handler response handler equal to new handler, and then we have this, go to end response handler, so the error is gone. Then thumbnail downloaders dot set thumbnail download listener, so new downloader dot thumbnail download listener photo holder at override public void on thumbnail downloaded photo holder bitmap in this we do drawable equal to new bitmap drawable get resources bitmap, then we do the photo holder dot find drawable. Okay, so we are getting an error. Now let us see that why are we receiving this error. So the error says that it is expecting a photo adapter while we are giving it a photo holder, but it should not expect a photo adapter. So this is thumbnail downloader. So let's go to thumbnail downloader, and in the thumbnail downloader extends, this looks fine. Let's go to photo gallery fragment thumbnails download. Okay, so here's the error. I have wrongly given it a photo adapter while I should have given it a photo holder. Now I give it photo holder, and let me just check quickly where else we need to change. And okay, so this is fine, and now let's just make sure that rest is okay. So we are still getting an error, so let's go back to our thumbnail downloader and start looking at the code. Okay, so the problem is here. This should have been described as thumbnail download listener and not as yes. And now we see that our error is also gone. So let us see that what changes we did. So we made few mistakes, and in the thumbnail downloader we um, typed, instead of listener, we just typed the thumbnail downloader, and that was creating error in multiple functions. So now all that error is gone, and we can directly come here. So we also fixed our bind view holder, because here earlier we were using a photo adapter which was wrong. Now we are using a photo holder, and our rest of the methods have gone fine. Okay, so now all the errors are gone. Now let's write a little bit of more code so that we can actually see the images downloaded from Flickr rather than the same image that we have copied. So we go to thumbnail downloader, and in the handle request at the end, currently we are just creating a bitmap, but now we have to make sure that we also post it. So we start, and in the handle request we say bitmap created, and after this we say response handler dot post new runnable and then we do the public void run if request map dot get target is not equal to URL, then do nothing, otherwise we can just remove that, and thumbnail download listener dot on thumbnail downloaded target bitmap. Yes. Now let us do a little bit of cleaning here, because when we are using the message queues we have to also make sure that we clear it. So public void clear queue request handler dot remove message download, and we will have to call this cleanup method from our on destroy view. So we go here, and after on create view, let's also implement at override public void on destroy view, and in this we call the super on destroy view, and then we thumbnail downloader dot clear queue. So now our work seems to be complete. Let's run. We run the program, and now we can see the actual images from Flickr coming in. As we scroll, we can see more images. So in this program we actually did a lot of work. We used our major concepts, which were our looper, handlers, and handler thread. We were to download around 100 images, so we used the background threads to download those images. We passed the controls from the main thread to the background thread, and then from the background thread to the main thread. So this was a longer program, and please see it carefully, and after that you should be able to make it using this example.